Welcome, football fans, to this 2024 NFL Week 10 preview on Tim Reynolds Show. Make sure you hit that like button as I'm getting you guys ready for all the games this upcoming Sunday and Monday night. And we'll start off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And the Niners come into this matchup at 4-4 on the season. Coming off of their bye week, this 49ers offense will get running back Christian McCaffrey back into the fold as he's expected to make his season debut coming off of injured reserve. And this 49ers offense is one of the best in the league right now, as they have really good rankings right now, as they rank 4th in rushing offense and 4th in passing offense, and they'll hope to exploit a Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense that ranks 19th against the rush and 30th against the pass. So quarterback Brock Purdy hopes to exploit that, but don't count out this Tampa Bay Buccaneers squad that really gave the Kansas City Chiefs a run for their money on Monday night as they tied it at 20-24 at the end of regulation, but lost 30-24 in overtime. But we see this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense ranks 5th overall, 10th in rushing offense, and 5th in passing offense. And quarterback Baker Mayfield hopes to really get the boys going with tight end Cade Otton and the connection that he has with his running backs. And I do believe that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will get the victory in this one, as they are the home team. And even though the San Francisco 49ers come in as a 6.5 point favorite, Tim Reynolds shows rolling with the underdogs, my team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I believe they'll get their victory before their bye week in week 12. And then, guys, our next matchup here on the week 10 Sunday slate, and we got the Minnesota Vikings coming in at 6-2, taking on the 2-7 Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Vikings come in this one as a 6.5 point favorite. But the big news is for the Jaguars offense, as quarterback Trevor Lawrence is expected to miss this game with a non-throwing shoulder injury, which means backup quarterback Mac Jones will get the start for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with a very, very tough Minnesota Vikings defense that ranks in the top 10 in the league in pretty much every category, I really do think that the Minnesota Vikings defense is going to play a big difference in this one. And with quarterback Sam Darnold getting his weapons involved more, running back Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson balling out with 783 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns on the year, I do believe that the Minnesota Vikings will get the victory in this one over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next up, we got another game across the pond over in Germany, as we see the New York Football Giants taking on the 2-7 Carolina Panthers. Both of these teams come in with a 2-7 record, and even though the Giants have been playing a little bit better, and so have the Carolina Panthers, who got a big win last week over the New Orleans Saints, I think that this one's going to be a low-scoring game. Right now, a 40.5 point total in this particular matchup, and I really do think that the defense for the New York Football Giants is going to make the difference in this one, as I believe they're the best unit on either squad, and I think they're going to make the difference in this one, as I'm rolling with the New York Giants in this matchup, the favorites in this ball game. Tim Reynolds shows picking them to beat the Carolina Panthers. Then next, we got the 2-7 New England Patriots traveling to take on the 4-4 Chicago Bears, who are reeling right now after a couple of bad football games from this football team, but they're hoping to find a little bit more balance on offense and start playing a lot better on defense like they were at the beginning of the season. But the New England Patriots have finally found something in this rookie quarterback Drake May, who's really been able to get this offense going. But unfortunately, with how they are overall as a team, I do believe that the Chicago Bears are the better team in this one. They come in as a 6-point favorite in this one, but a low point total, 38.5 points projected for this matchup. I think you could probably take that in any bet, as I believe both these offenses will probably struggle with good defenses on both sides, but I'm picking the Chicago Bears to get the victory in this one to move to 4-5. Then next up, guys, we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts come into this one as the home team at 4-5 after a tough loss against the Minnesota Vikings, where the offense wasn't able to get anything going. And the Buffalo Bills come in as a 4-point favorite in this matchup, which could play dividends when you look at the point line at the end of the day. But really, it's the Colts offense. They have ranked 16th in rushing offense and 22nd in passing offense, so not very well, but their numbers are even worse on defense. They rank 31st in rushing defense and 26th in passing defense, which Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offense will be able to exploit that, especially with how good James Cook's been able to run the ball and how much balance they've had on their offense, as they have a 17th ranked rushing offense and a 16th ranked passing offense, so middle in the pack, but 4th in scoring offense. So I really do think think that that's what's going to make the difference here. I don't believe that the Indianapolis Colts are going to be able to outscore the Buffalo Bills offense. So I'm rolling with the favorite in this one. A 46.5 point total. I say maybe take the over here with the Buffalo Bills getting the win easily. Next, we got the Denver Broncos taking on the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. The home team here at 8-0 taking on the 5-4 Broncos team that has a very, very stingy defense, which could definitely come into play against a Kansas City Chiefs offense that's finally starting to get wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins going with quarterback Patrick Mahomes. And I really do think that that's going to be where the battle's going to be. But the defense for the Chiefs has been carrying this team all season long, and I believe that will continue, especially going up against a rookie quarterback for the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix that's really starting to get his game underneath him. But I just don't think they're going to be able to outscore this Kansas City Chiefs offense, especially with how good the Chiefs defense has been playing. And I'm rolling with the home team here as the Chiefs are favored by 7.5 points. So Tim Reynolds Show is picking the Chiefs to win. Then next up, we got the Atlanta Falcons at 6-3 traveling to take on the 2-7 New Orleans Saints, the home team. And I don't know who's going to start at quarterback for the Saints, but after they've lost 7 straight games, New Orleans announced the firing of their head coach, Dennis Allen, which is going to be a big deal heading into this matchup where the Atlanta Falcons are a 3.5 point favorite in this one. And quarterback Kirk Cousins is starting to cook, especially with big play Mooney, who's been able to really get big plays down the field for this offense. And I believe that's where it's going to be all the difference here, as I do not trust the New Orleans Saints offense to be able to outscore the Atlanta Falcons offense, especially with the Falcons having a pretty good defense overall and the New Orleans Saints defense kind of being lackluster, especially in their last week's matchup against a Carolina Panthers team that was able to beat them. Now, I really do think that the defensive numbers show that the Saints defense played very well, but I think the Falcons offense is going to be able to exploit them a lot different, and I expect them to get the victory in this one. Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Washington Commanders. The Steelers come in at their division lead at 6-2, and the Commanders lead their division as well, coming in at 7-2, 4-0 at home. And I really do think that the Steelers are gonna be the favorites in this one, even though the Washington Commanders come in as a 2.5 point favorite with a 44.5 point total in this one. I really do think that Jalen Daniels is looking like the rookie of the year, but also maybe an MVP candidate with how he's orchestrating this offense with almost 2,000 yards passing, 9 TDs, and only 2 interceptions on the year. But how about the Pittsburgh Steelers making moves at the trade deadline, as they were able to get a veteran wide receiver for veteran quarterback Russell Wilson in this Pittsburgh Steelers offense to go next to wide receiver George Pickens. I think that that's going to be a big move, and not to mention this tough Pittsburgh Steelers defense got even better with veteran defensive lineman Preston Smith being acquired from the Green Bay Packers at the trade deadline. And I really do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going to make all the difference in this one, as that defensive line really should be able to exploit the offensive line of the Washington Commanders, which is a bit of a weakness for this team. And Tim Reynolds Show is predicting the Pittsburgh Steelers get the victory in this one in week 10. Then next up, guys, we got the 2-6 Tennessee Titans taking on the 5-3 Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers, the home team in this one, they need to really start protecting quarterback Justin Herbert a lot better, as he's been sacked almost the most times in the NFL out of any quarterback. But right now he has a 10 touchdown to 1 interception ratio, which is the best in the league. So hopefully he'll be able to play some clean football. And I do believe, even though this Tennessee Titans defense is one of the best in the league, they haven't really been able to do anything on offense. And even though we see quarterback Will Levis will come back after a shoulder sprain that he's been dealing with the last couple of weeks, and Mason Rudolph has been the starter, now Will Levis will come back, but I don't think that's going to make much of a difference in this one, as they go up against a Chargers defense that's one of the best in the league. So Tim Reynolds Show's rolling with this 7.5 point favorite, the Los Angeles Chargers, to get the victory in this one at home. Then next up, guys, we got the Philadelphia Eagles 6-2 taking on the Dallas Cowboys, who are 3-5 and 0-3 at home. And the news is not good for the offense, as quarterback Dak Prescott is suffered a hamstring injury where apparently the hamstring muscle is coming off of the bone. It sounds pretty serious. So Dak Prescott will miss and a somewhat amount of time as Cooper Rush, the backup quarterback, is expected to start for the Dallas Cowboys in this matchup. And that's where I think the difference is going to be. Going up against a Philadelphia Eagles defense that's been one of the better in the league the last couple weeks, even though their opponents haven't been maybe some of the best in the league, we've still seen Jalen Hurts really have himself a mastery of this offense, especially with the addition of running back Saquon Barkley, who's balling out after an incredible move last week where he hurdled a man backwards. That went viral, and we see Barkley's already got 925 yards on the ground and 6 TD passes on the year, and I really do think that the Philadelphia Eagles offense is going to be able to score a lot of points against this Dallas defense that has been suspect at best throughout the season, really giving up a lot of points. Right now, the Eagles come in as a 7.5 point favorite, so I'm rolling with the favorites in this one as Tim Reynolds chose picking the Philadelphia Eagles to defeat the Dallas Cowboys in Week 10. Then next up, guys, we got the New York Jets taking on the Arizona Cardinals, and the Cardinals come into this one at 5-4, leading their division there in the NFC West, and the Jets come off of a big win against the Houston Texans, and we see the Jets are actually favored in this one at 1.5 points, so this should be a very, very close game against two pretty even teams, but I'm going to roll with the Jets in this one as I think they're going to really start getting that connection going between Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and this offense is starting to really get things going. Plus, the defense for the Jets is so good with all the playmakers they got. I think they'll be able to shut down Kyler Murray, the quarterback, and the elite wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., the rookie, in that Arizona Cardinals offense. And I think that the Jets will get the victory. Next up, we got the Sunday night game with the Detroit Lions taking on the Houston Texans. The Texans come in at 6-3 and are the home team. They are 4-0 at home, so hopefully that plays dividends for them as they will also be wearing their all red helmets and uniforms in this one, looking very, very snazzy with the uniform there. And the Lions come in as one of the best teams in the NFL. 4-0 away from home, 7-1 total record as they're coming in hot. Running back Jahmyr Gibbs is doing the best he's ever done in this offense for the Detroit Lions running game, and not to mention David Montgomery's doing his thing. Amon-Ra St. Brown's got 6 TD passes already on the year, and hey, CJ Stroud's going to hope to have a bounce back game, but this offensive line for the Houston Texans has been struggling, and with the new addition of defensive lineman Darius Smith for the Lions, I think that that's going to play big part in this one as the Detroit Lions defensive line should be able to exploit the Houston Texans offensive line, which has struggled all year long. And I'm rolling with the away team as I'm picking the Lions, who are favored by 4 points in this one, to get the win on Sunday Night Football against the Houston Texans in Week 10. And then we got the Monday Night Football game where the Miami Dolphins will travel to take on the 4-4 Los Angeles Rams. The Dolphins come in at 2-6 in this one, 1-3 on road games, and Tua Tagovailoa is going to hope to get some more balance from this offense, but it's the defense for the Dolphins that's just not been good enough for them to win football games. And with them going up against a healthy Los Angeles Rams offense with quarterback Matthew Stafford having wide receiver Puka Nacua, wide receiver Cooper Kupp, and running back Curran Williams, who's running his butt off with 8 touchdowns already on the year, I really do think that the Rams offense is going to be able to score a lot of points against this Miami Dolphins defense, with the offense for the Dolphins not being able to keep up. Right now, the Rams are only a 1-point favorite. I expect there to be a lot of points scored in this one, especially with a 50.5 point total projected in this game. I'm rolling with the home team as Tim Reynolds chose picking the Los Angeles Rams to get the victory on Monday Night Football here in Week 10. And thank you guys for checking out Tim Reynolds Show's 2024 NFL Week 10 preview. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel and leave some comments to let me know what you think of the NFL season thus far and what you think of Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.